absolutely that's hearing or watching us go and explore it. We also know as educators, I'm also an educator of over 30 years from K-12 all the way up to higher education as a professor, even working with doctoral learners and holders, yourself working on a post-secondary level, higher education, and special education, which is a whole nother caveat. When we're thinking about poverty levels, whether it's free or reduced lunch or Title One, what are some things from a council public servant standpoint that you feel that education could improve on? Not that education isn't comprehensive, complex by itself, and there's no one fix. But if there's anything with your knowledge on both sides, how could education maybe help close that poverty gap, whether in terms of educational access? And then what are some resources that you believe would absolutely be beneficial to any school system, but definitely in our county that can help address this issue in terms of poverty, lack of access, and things of those variables?
Sure. Education again is key, and there's been a lot of resources that are going to be pumped into our local school systems through the Kirwan Commission recommendations. And one of the major focuses is to develop this network of community schools. A community school is a campus that has really strong needs. The test scores are very low. There's just a very high incidence of poverty. There are just very compelling socioeconomic conditions and that require resources to be directed, really focused into those schools. I think that's what sometimes government does poorly is we spread resources all around like peanut butter. When I think if you prioritize your mission and you really focus on certain things, you can have a great effect. Um, it runs the gamut. It's providing the nutrition we talked about. It's providing psychologists and social workers. Those are absolutely key. It is providing a helping hand to parents and guardians who do want to do the best for their children, but are working late at night and sometimes can't mentor them. And it's also making sure that when kids graduate, they transition to good careers. For years, I think we devalued the vocational technical education part of the equation. And I think now there's a real focus on making sure kids get on that appropriate track so that they get good careers, maybe as apprentices or just going into the military, but identifying those career paths early so that they can do well after high school.
Absolutely. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. One of the things you talked about the Kerwin Commission, another hot topic that is, everyone is in favor of is the Maryland Blueprint,
Yep,
which
that's it. Yep.
everyone talks about a whole lot. Do you think that the Maryland Blueprint will be placed? Because I know it's not meant to roll out for a few years, which would be great, absolutely, for those kids that are in elementary school right now that will eventually get the middle. But how about currently, like today, like our students that are in high school, that may need the additional support or resources, or the students in middle school that may not have the opportunity to benefit from the Maryland Blueprint or all of the positive resources that are coming down the pike. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it is starting to have an impact. I will tell you, the high school that I teach, which is in Harford County along the Route 40 corridor, we're starting to see additional staff members. We're starting to see a person who specifically deals with standardized testing so that these kids can graduate in time. We're starting to see an increase in social workers and family counselors and so on.